This is an introduction to the Forest Manufacturing Model 2152 vertical blade traveling table bandsaw. Actually, I should say double vertical blade traveling table bandsaw. Concept's pretty simple. I have a pair of vertical blade bandsaws cutting in a vertical plane. They're a mirror image pair. The distance between them is adjustable. Then I have a table to run between them. This is meant for customers who have parts that need parallel, accurately spaced trims. I have customers using machines like this for rotationally molded parts, or actually mostly plastic parts. Today we'll be cutting some air filtration material. I'll show you that in a minute here. But the basic idea is the two saws, and I know you can't see over here, but I have a hand wheel to some screws on connect both the saws. Turn the hand wheel, the saws move in or out. There's an electronic digital readout showing their position. So the saws are rigidly mounted on linear bearing, round linear rail, and then I can move them out, in or out, and know exactly where they are based on this DRO, digital readout. So the spacing in-out is a hand crank, but it's very smooth, very nice, electronic digital readout. We can motorize it if you want, it's just money. The traveling table is also mounted on linear round rail. It is absolutely rigid. So of course, we have a main control panel, and then we have two remote stations. The idea here is this will be run by two operators. You'll have one operator on this side to load the material. You have another operator on the opposite side to unload the material. In addition to all the main controls here on this panel, we have a couple of remote pendant stations. These have just the basics: table forward, table reverse, and a big red mushroom head button that does exactly what you expect. It shuts everything down. So either operator can stop it from any position. So the first operator will load the workpiece, hit the forward button, table goes forward, makes your cut. Second operator removes the finished material, hits the reverse button, table goes back, and they just shuttle back and forth doing cuts. The main saw controls, we have separate controls for each saw head: start, stop, tension controls, start, stop, tension control left and right, table forward, table reverse, table stop, duplicating effectively what's on these. We have two speed controls. We have a speed control for the forward cutting direction and a speed control for the return after the cut direction. The idea is for the return direction, that's dead time in your cycle. So you're just going to leave that dial 100%. The table forward speed is going to be tailored to whatever you're cutting. I generally try to set the machines up such you're cutting 10 to 25% of full speed, so you have some range to control it. You're not stuck at 0 to 0.5% of speed, or you're not using up all your speed range to try to run 50%. The actual table here, it's a steel table, screwed down top, very rigid, but this steel table can only be as wide as the narrowest gap between these blades. This machine is set up to cut a nominal 10-inch minimum width. So the table's, I believe, actually 9.5 inches wide. I've got the blades stopped such that they can't come any closer to 9.75. So and I believe they'll go out to, I want to say it's like 37 inches maximum width out. So if you know you'll be cutting something very wide, you'll wind up with your own workpiece positioning system, screw it down or magnet it down to this steel table to support the workpiece in this weird little gap here. The blades are pneumatically tensioned. A little bit more about the saws themselves. The saws are running on 20-inch diameter wheels You can run 1-inch blades up to, or in some cases 1 1/4 inch wide blades on these. Blade speed on this is fixed at 3,000 feet per minute, which is a good do-it-all type blade speed for cutting plastics, foams, papers, insulation materials, everything like that. Pretty much anything other than metal. We also offer this with variable speed controls if you're cutting some kind of material that's very finicky about the blade speed. Pneumatic tensioning gives you a couple advantages. First, it gives you a very accurate control of the blade tension. Regardless of human operator, you just flip a switch on the panel and you detension or tension the blades. These include blade breakage detectors for both saws, such that if the blade snaps or something else happens, the machine shuts down. We have a low air pressure switch. Raining hard all of a sudden. We have a low air pressure switch, such that if you lose air pressure, everything shuts down. That's all interlocked to the saw drive motors and the table drive. Saws are driven by brake motors, such that when you hit the stop button, any of them, the blade motor stops next best thing to instantly. I'll give you a little demo here without anything on it, and then we'll do a test cut. So saw controls, we have separate start-stop buttons for the left and right heads. Table forward, pressed from anywhere. I've got that running pretty slow right now. Your time is valuable, I'll speed it up a bit. So it does exactly what you expect. Feeds the workpiece through. I like to start with the table well clear of the blades and end with the table well clear of the blades. Goes to the end. It stops. The operator over there. Hitting the end of travel does not stop the saw blades. Operator unloads, and then he will use this other button station, hit the reverse, comes back to the home position in preparation for the next cut. I think I have this thing set up at 4 inches per second right now. We might get it to go a little faster than this, because this is dead time in the cycle, but it's never going to be just snap from one end to the other. So let's go ahead and set up a little sample cut here. Oh, and the red mushroom button obviously does all that at once. We'll do a little sample cut here. I've got some unusual material to cut. Here it is. This is a pleated air filter material. As I understand it, this is actually a HEPA filter, just on a very large scale. I have cobbled together here a little plywood table just to hold it in place as we're cutting it. I have not cut this material on this saw. We're going to see what we get. The customer, I've talked to them about this, they know that they're going to need something on the back here to support this workpiece right near the blade, because this is going to want to fold backwards as it's cut. So the cut here at the end today might look a little scruffy, just because I've got only a ad-lib, mad-lib kind of a workpiece holder. But we should get a nice cut here through this. The blade I'm using, 1 inch wide scallop tooth knife style blade. Since this is a paper material plus metal foil, the customer is concerned about getting a high quality cut. If I used a tooth type blade, we would just get a horrible frayed cut. So we went with a knife type blade, which will give a very clean, pretty cut, but it cuts a little more slowly. As I said, I have not cut this material on this saw before, and I don't have very many workpieces to experiment with. So I'm going to start off with a very gentle table advance speed. The theory being I need to get an accurate quality cut before I need to get a fast cut. So I'm going to start for today with a table speed at 0. start my saws. The upper blade guide and guard is adjustable position, so we've got it just above the workpiece height. I'll hit a forward button, anyone will do, and then slowly, well, first let's get it there. I'll accelerate rapidly, get the workpiece up near the blades. And I'm really going to ease into this because I don't know how this is going to cut. And I'll add more speed as I gain experience. It'll cut faster than that, that's for sure. Cut faster than that. John, would you put eyeballs on that from the back and tell me how it looks like it's tracking? Thank you. I think we can cut faster than this. Tracking beautifully. I'll give it a little bit more speed. Just see what we're doing here. No trouble at all. Lovely. Go ahead and advance it to the back. Oh, that's lovely. To show you that, I'm going to pick up the camera, carry it around back, and sight down the cut so you can see better. In a second video, I will do a handheld camera walk around to show some of the details of this saw, but most of you probably don't want to watch that, so after this, I'll sign off. Lovely. Let's eyeball our cuts here. Oh yeah. We'll zoom in a bit here. Lovely. Right. So this is the Forest Manufacturing Model 2152. We are building these here, so if you need a machine like this, but wider, longer, taller, we can certainly accommodate you. Please feel free to call or email us here at Forest Manufacturing, and I thank you for your time.